If you are currently going through an employment tribunal or you know somebody who is, please stay tuned for the next couple of minutes because I'm going to be telling you how you can get your hands on something for free that may be a good source of help for organisation for anybody going through the process. For anybody who's been following my page, and certainly if you followed my YouTube channel, you'll know already that a couple of years ago I had the misfortune of going through an employment tribunal with my former employer. I received a successful judgment last January for that. We were unrepresented, so I was a litigant in person. I couldn't afford legal help. I couldn't afford a solicitor. We didn't have any insurance to cover it. I wasn't part of a union. So literally we relied just on any free source of help that we could. So that was through ACAS website, Citizens Advice website, searching Google, free books from the library, coming across forum pages, looking for kind of answers to questions. So when I had been through my employment tribunal, one of the things that I really wanted to do, because it had been such a negative experience, was try and turn it into something a little bit more positive. So I have now got my own website. It's got all sorts of stuff on there, primarily all just about me. It's all about me. And it's like mum blogs, mum vlogs. We're a home educating family, so there's kids' activity ideas, learning resources, clothing, style. But one of the main things that I really wanted to do was create a dedicated space that I could document my own employment tribunal journey, purely because what got me through mine was just reading other people's stories, watching other people's stories, researching other cases. And now I've been through it myself, I want to try and give something back and do the same thing myself, so that anybody who's in the midst of it, they may be on their own, or even if they've got a solicitor helping them but want a better understanding themselves, they can hopefully do a quick search and my website might come up and it might contain the answer to maybe a question or something that's kind of been troubling them. So one of the main things I found when I was going through the employment tribunal was that there is such a lot of information, such a lot of preparation. We had case management hearings, we had preliminary hearings, then we obviously had the final hearing. And there's certain documents, certain information that you need to keep to hand all the time because you use it on a really regular basis. I had so many sheets of paper, so many notebooks, so many folders. It was absolutely unreal towards the end. And then I couldn't find anything I needed because I had to search through so many documents. On top of that, an employment tribunal becomes part of your day-to-day life while ever you're going through it. So it's important that you're able to incorporate it into, everything that you do every day. One of the things that I started doing, because I ended up with generalised anxiety disorder and health anxiety off the back of everything that I went through, and I began to journal. So I had like a book where I would journal one thing, and then I had, all these other documents and folders and books where I'd keep on the tribunal stuff, and it all used to get all merged into one. I used to forget what book everything was wrote in. And what I looked for at the time, but I couldn't find it, was something where I could keep everything all in one place. So one of the things that I did after my tribunal was finished, in as much as I had my final hearing, was that I devised an employment tribunal journal and organiser, and I initially listed it on Amazon. So Amazon print it, they distribute it, and you can still get a hard copy on there. They're $14.99, which is a bit costly, but unfortunately, with the cost of Amazon and everything else, it's got to be what it's got to be. But when I got my own website, I thought, well, why not use the PDF as a free download for people? So this is it. And if you head over to my website, and I will put the link if I can on the socials. If I can't put the link on the socials, either my website will be in the bio, even if it's not a link and you have to just type it in Google, you'll find it. Alternatively, head over to my YouTube page, watch this video, the link will definitely be under there and it'll take you straight to it. So on my website, you want to be on the shop tab, you want to go down to digital products, and this and also another journal that I devised, a health anxiety journal, is also on there. They're both completely free of charge. I say the PDF downloads, you just put your name and address in. You don't have to put any payment details or anything in because it's absolutely no cost. Once you've done that, it'll just allow you to download the file. Now, some of the pages might be relevant, some of the pages might not. You can literally use, mix and match, print more of one page than the other. And I would definitely be interested to hear anybody's feedback. It's got pages for contact information, claim information, it's got monthly calendars, it's got daily journal pages. There's all sorts of different things in there. There's also things like fitness logs, because again, going through the tribunal process, you know, your mental health and your physical health is absolutely paramount that you keep on top of that, because it takes such a toll on you. The impact it had on me, you know, physically, emotionally, mentally, the impact it had on my family, on my family's life, was just unimaginable. So anything that can help anybody try and ease that just by the smallest fraction is something like a really welcome resource. So what I'm going to do is, as soon as I finish waffling on, I'll just give you a quick flick through of this book so that you can see what's in it. As I say, I've just put my pages in a folder, but you can organise it however you want. And if you think it's of use to you, or if you think it's of use to somebody else who you may know, then, as I say, please download it and drop a comment either on my website or on this link, just to let me know if you found it at all helpful. Just to really quickly finish, if you're watching this and you're still with me, thank you for watching. But also, if you work for somebody else and you're not currently going through an employment tribunal process and you're sailing along quite happily with your employer, please don't make the same mistake that I did and put your trust into them and just assume that they will look after you and they will do the right thing by you, because there are unscrupulous employers out there who are just not going to do that. So while you can, because it was too late for me, either look into joining a union if you feel comfortable doing that. Alternatively, your house insurance, your car insurance, any form of insurance that you can get should allow you to now add employment cover onto your insurance. So where it says about legal services, some of you might have it. Check. If you've got it, you don't need to add it on, but check. And if you haven't got it, it literally costs pence to add it on. And believe me, if you're ever in a situation where you need to go through an employment tribunal, those few extra pence every month, I know everybody's really feeling it at the moment, but honestly, lawyers and solicitors literally cost upwards of £150 to £200 plus VAT per hour to represent you. There are countless numbers of hours needed to prepare an employment tribunal. They then sometimes ask you to pay for a barrister at the end because they won't represent you in the actual final hearing. That can be upwards of £1,000 just for one day. So please, forewarned is forearmed. I say this so many times now. You know, protect yourself. Don't rely on anybody else. Don't rely on your employer to do the right thing, because if you do, you may find yourself in my position. And trust me, 2 or 3 years ago, it's not a position that you want to be in.